All right. Good morning, all. Welcome to Coffee and Craft. Sorry about the weird clown show intro there, but I didn't reverse my things. Anyway, good morning. I'm a little hoarse. A lot of talking done this weekend over here at the Pacific Northwest Meetup in Seattle. I'll do not a full recap today, but a partial recap today. There was too much that happened to recount everything, obviously, but I want to give you a sense of what it was like to be here. Mainly because I want to fire you up. I want to get you out here for next year. So it was fun. We had a great time, and I want to begin by thanking a few people. I got to give a couple of shout outs, primarily to Ian Olson in chat. Ian, everybody wave hi to Ian. Ian worked really hard with me on this. Honest to God, all I am is just the guy in front of the camera. You know what I mean? I'm just whatever. I'm everybody's friend, and I'm fun and all that kind of stuff. But Ian's a worker. He put everything together for us. At Snoqualmie Casino, he helped with the Mariners game we couldn't go to, but the hats, everything. Ian is kind of like making sure that it all happens, right? It was fantastic. So shout out to Ian for that. A shout out to the crew at, you'll see it in a minute here, Snoqualmie Casino. They treated us like royalty. It was great. Shout out to my wife, Kathy, who allowed me to open up the doors to the house and let 20-something strangers just kind of pile through here. It was fantastic. She was awesome. And thanks for Jeremy for color up. I mean, it was his idea. He's like, hey, let's do regional meetups, and I'll come flying around the country. And I'd like, hey, let's do it in Seattle, September. He's like, sure, fine, book it. So he just like, yeah, he showed up, and you know what I mean? It's like he got a few new members for the Color Up Club. We got to hang out with Jeremy as a person. It was super cool. So anyway, it was amazing weekend. So let's go ahead. Let me get after it with you and start the actual show here. And before we get started, just kind of what's on tap for today. We're going to talk about the meetup a little bit. That screen is in the way. Hold on. There we go. And before we start, though, I want to make two quick announcements before anything else. One is going to be, and I'll show you the screen here in a minute, the Midmo Layla Scholarship Fund. We finally got it together, so I will give you the details on that in just a minute. We talked to Crystal. That's all set up. I'm going to give you the screen here with the link and all that kind of stuff. And then now we're going to switch gears. Like starting like tomorrow, we're going to start, probably next week, more likely. We'll start talking Crafts for the Cure. So now that our meetup's over with, we can switch gears and change our focus away from Seattle Meetup, away from raising money here for Chiro's family, and then we're going to switch over next week into full bore Crafts for the Cure. So let's run ahead here and take a look at what we have. So here's the deal with Chiro. Celebration of Life is going to be next Saturday. It's going to be outside of Kansas City. We're going to stay at the Harrah's just really to have a place to crash. If you want to do a video, just do it. Just film yourself in front of the camera, tell Chiro goodbye and how much you love him, and give a message to his daughter. I'll make sure Crystal gets them all. So if you want to do that, please work with me privately. You all know how to get a hold of me by now. It's john@procraps.net email, and it's Discord, casinogaming.tv. Go there and hit the community link, and you can join the Discord, and you can get me that way. The scholarship fund link is here. It's ugift529.com. That's the URL, ugift529.com. I'm going to link it in the chat right now. Give me a second to type this in. It's http ugift529.com. And by the way, a 529 account is a specialized account for scholarships. It's for the kids. They can't withdraw the money from it. They can only be used for college, or when they're 18, they can have it. That is. We can donate to that fund whenever we want to. We can do all kind of in the moment fundraisers and drop money in there. So goal is to get 10 grand in there if we can do it as a group before Saturday. Let's try and just, put some dough in there if we can. The code for that, by the way, is E8J-55 capital V. There's the code for it. You get into that code right there. You can just use your credit card and upload or donate whatever money you want to. Again, it goes into account for her. It's a tax-free account. There's no charge to you, no fees for you at all. It just goes right in, and Layla, again, gets to withdraw that money later on. It's specialized for kids for college savings. And this website in particular is set up so that people not named Layla or Crystal can donate to it. It's designed for family and friends to help out. So that's what it's for. So if it's in your heart to do it, do it. Donate to Layla's scholarship. That'd be a great legacy for us to leave behind. Or for us to leave for her, I guess, with Chiro's name in mind. So anyway, there's all that. So please jump on that if you want to. What else is happening here? The Pacific. Oh shit! Did I do the screens wrong? I'm sorry. These things, if these words trickle in, I'm really, really sorry. I may have to go. Hold on. I can't do it like that. We're gonna fix this. This has got. Sorry. You're gonna watch me work here, but for some reason, all these slides, I did it on every slide. I made it so that all the stupid words come flying in. Bye bye. No, none of that. Sorry. I did this late last night. I may have had a couple of whiskeys when I put the show together. You can see all the screens now that are coming for you. There's Jennifer's sniper page. Good Lord, Jen. Frickin' Jen. Frickin' Jen. I got a funny story. I got a funny Jennifer story to tell you guys. Jen's one of my best friends, so you'll know that she'll take this with the fun that I intended it, I hope. So, all right, here we go. The meetup, the Pacific Northwest meetup. Here we go. What happened? What happened this weekend? We had fun. Some of the highlights here were we had a bunch of out-of-towners show up. We had Jeremy from Colorado, obviously. Alfredo flew in from Texas. I mean, and again, I can't say this enough, right? I'm going to sound like a whatever you want to call it all day long today. Can't say it enough how much it means to me that Alfredo flew here from Texas to hang out with us, right? It's crazy, isn't it? Corey and his wife flew here from Chicago to hang out with us. It's crazy, right? Glenn, and they actually took a train up, right? Glenn, Galenar was here. Noah, Royce, Jen and Tina came up. We had Michael Blocker was here. Gina, our local group, Gina and Craig, who are part of the Seattle meetup group. We had Keith Kamiura here. Justin was great, by the way. Justin's a young guy. He's in the Navy. He's here. He was great. We had fun with him. Rich T was here, the OG monster. I broke down Rich's monster roll last week for 7 days straight. We broke down a 50-51 roller. Well, guess what? We have a new one. Actually, we have two monsters to break down from this weekend, and we'll do that. We'll do that throughout the week. But it was fantastic. I just lost my screen here. It was great. We had so much fun. There's more people that were here. We had 20. Royce was here. We had 20 something people here. Actually, it was probably 25 total. We had I think 16 or 18 people at Snoqualmie the first night. We had a different set of 16 or 18 people at my house and a different set of 16 up at the casino, up at Tulalip. It was kind of a amorphous thing. And it was really cool to have everybody here and I think have a pretty good time. So what happened here? I'm gonna give you the chronological story. So I guess I didn't. What did I do? Come on, man. I know I did the no animations. Please, no animations. Hold on. Animate. None. Right? No freaking animations. Did I do it again? God, sorry. I again hitting wrong buttons here. Animate. None. No animations. Otherwise, we're going to be here. I got to do this. Otherwise, we're going to be here forever. Because every word's going to pop in by itself. I hit the wrong button when I copied and pasted the slide. So I'm so sorry, folks. No animations. No animations. Boy, I really could have planned this a little better, huh? Anyway, this is fun. You get to watch me work on show prep live, which is, I'm sure, hella interesting for everybody. One more slide. I did the wrong button last time. Blur. Okay, now we're gonna get back to it. I think now I got it figured out. Friday night. Let's see what happened Friday night. What happened Friday night? Friday night we had a massive showing. Now I made two mistakes on Friday, by the way. We had we were at Snoqualmie Casino, and I want to show you pictures of the casino. It's a great casino. Snoqualmie was awesome. Let me actually switch screens here. I'm going to give you the some of the bird's eye views here of the place. Here's Snoqualmie Casino. You can see it. It literally looks like that. Now it's this big log cabin-y kind of feel to it, and it's a smaller place. It's out here, nestled in the mountains, and that would be the view. This little where my mouse is over here. I don't know if you can see it, but this is the restaurant. We didn't eat at that restaurant. They were full because Dire Straits was there. But this is your view if you're there. It's a really cool looking place. And on the inside, it looks like that same. You can see the top, that same log cabin. The ceiling in there probably is 100 feet tall, and it's all these massive 3 foot wide wooden beams. Super cool casino. Very, very, very cool. I think I really enjoyed playing here. That's what it looks like. You can see how tall that ceiling is in there. Just a really cool place. Here's our concert venue where Dire Straits was. I think we had a great time there. I really did enjoy it. There's another view of the inside. That's the bar. From the craps tables are on the other side of this bar where we were standing. So it was great. We had a really good time there. I think we did anyway. So that was a good night. We all showed up. We had our table. The crew at Snoqualmie, by the way, was absolutely on fire. They were such a good crew. They treated us like royalty. They were great. Hold on, here the dogs are coming in, so if they start going crazy, I'm sorry. Get out of here, guys. Anyway, the crew was awesome. They gave us the private table. The dealers were great. They they have a system there. Like all these places do. They have a system where you give your cards and they get you all checked in and all that kind of stuff. They had us by name. Like all the dealers were calling everybody by name. They had our bets down. There wasn't really any like major mistakes. They weren't slow. It was just, they were great. I literally, that's our new home casino. We'll talk about it later, but they treated us so good. And in fact, our Northwest crew here is so big. They're like, whenever you guys want a reserved table, just call us and let us. Hey guys, other room, out here. Hold on, let me get these guys out. Other room, go out there. Go on, Rosie, go out there. Go out there and play. Go. There you go. They basically said whenever we want to have a private room, a private table, they'll give it to us. So our Pacific group's going to meet up on the regular down there because they treated us so good. It was just great. That session was a decent session. We had right out of the gate, Corey got the dice first or second. It was like, I think I threw, then Ian threw, and then Corey came in and took. And Corey came right out like a 15 roller or something. I have all, by the way, Corey and Jen logged every single roll from every single person between them. So I think Corey logged every roll from the whole table. I think Jen logged just us, our group, right? And between them, they have all of them. I'm going to get them all typed in and we'll do like a little wind crap session with all the rolls that we had for the weekend. It'll take me a week to get it all typed in, but we'll have it all. Anyway, out of the gate, Corey comes out and does a really good job on that table. 15 or so roller, and got right into some profit. That was great. And it came and it went around. And Alfredo, by the way, so I didn't put on here, had the shot of the weekend. His very first roll, right? So I'm all excited, right? Because here we go. We got Corey, we got Alfredo, we got all the locals. And I'm like, man, I want to see Alfredo shoot in person. I want to see that. Hold on a second. Get out of here. Go over there. Go over there. Come on, you're killing me here. I wanted to see that shot in person, right? Because I'm a nerd. My throw sucks, and I like to see greatness in person. I want to see what the dice look like in the air, right? So get to see Alfredo shoot. Alfredo gets a dice, takes his first shot. They look okay in the air, right? I'm not gonna lie, they separated a little bit. He hits the back wall in the air, and one of his dice rolls all the way back and hits the other back wall. He literally hit both back walls on the same shot. Like a double, he double tapped with his dice the very first roll. It was hysterical. Like hit that diamond and it bounced clear across the table and went right past our faces and backwards, hit both walls with it. And they counted the roll. Of course they counted the roll. Right? It was great. It goes around the table again and it goes to Tina, who's Jen's wife, who's a sweetheart, by the way. Tina's great. It's amazing. They travel with a service dog, Jen and Tina, and that dog is like in a baby stroller, and it's so well behaved. It just sits there and does its thing. My dog would be eating people. They did great. Tina had a great roll. Again, got us. So between Tina and Corey, we're up a little bit, right? And then the table goes soft, and it went soft, and it took forever. It goes soft all the way here. First roll was 21. Oh, I'm sorry. I stand corrected, Corey. I knew it was a good one. That first roll was really a solid roll. And it kind of got me, like, personally, like, starting from up, right? Which was great. And by the way, while Corey's shooting, he and Alfredo, they'll tell the story, I'm sure, on Alfredo's channel. They were kind of a corporation play. They were playing together. And so Alfredo's in Corey's ear the whole time, right? He's like, it's, if you know me, right, I'm barely a controlled shooter. I can barely have some control over the dice, right? Just how they fly. I don't know how to make adjustments yet. I'm still new in that part of my gameplay. Alfredo's not new at that. So he's like, hey, I'm seeing whatever, like this die pitched over here. And he's like, you want to put your hand back 3 inches and move your landing zone left an inch. Okay, Corey does it. And the roll it was kind of fun to watch him adjust as they were going. Both of them were kind of doing, it was really entertaining and educational to watch how they were kind of breaking everything down as a group, because they're taking it from regular to like this more advanced play, which is, I think, fascinating to watch. To watch that happen live was really cool. And I'm sure Joe from Craftsmaster, you played with them too. In Chicago, you probably saw some of the same things. It was actually pretty cool to watch. Anyway, so the table softened up for a while. It was like a lot. I played a lot of Skill 66, a lot of inside press and pull, we did 64 across a few times, trying to get my 3 hits and out. It was rough. It was a rough go. And I think when I get the stats, I'll talk about this later, the stats will prove it out, that probably half, I'm going to say 45 to 50% of our shooters, between us as the group and the random, we had not people that weren't us at the other tables. Like it was probably half and half of our group plus other people. 40 to 50% didn't get 2 inside hits. It was like I said, that if that's your way of playing, you're going to crash and burn. And we crashed and burned most of the time. Then I go off on this heater, right? And I again, my toss, when you see it, if you see it, now the people who are there have seen the chopper in person, the way I throw it, and you can relate to what I'm talking about, how those dice fly. And they all said to me at the end, like, oh, we can tell immediately when it's going to be a bad throw, because the dice, when I get them, they got this great spin. You can see them land flat and they do their thing. They're all like, ooh, that was a bad one. They could just tell right away out of my hands that they were fluttering and it was going to be ugly. And everybody was kind of ducking when it was going to be a bad one. But I went on a heater. I had my 54 roller, which was great. I missed my birthday by 1 roll, which is unfortunate. I hit the tall twice, the small once, of course, that makes the all. I wasn't on it. Mea culpa, man. You know me, I do not bet the ATS. So I was not on the ATS. I bet it for the dealers as a bonus. You'll see there's a picture of my chips coming up here where I'm playing. I have my pass line bet and my dealer ride along, and I got my bets up top. I'm not on the ATS. The dealers were. So they, on that roll from me, collected 2 talls, a small, and an all. They put like $350 in the rack on that one shot, which is good for them. And my rating, by the way, I got rated for 1 minute of play. I got 1 tier credit the entire time we were there, 4 hours. But that was not a retirement roll. I'm going to break that roll down for you. You'll love the roll breakdown because it's the perfect case of another time where a 54 roller wasn't great. Because I start out by setting a point. I get 2 inside hits, so I'm pressed up. I'm down to 44 inside. And then it's 10-4, horn, 10-4, whatever. Horn, 10, literally, right? I was all over the place. And then I finally got an 8 or a 6 or something. Okay, finally, I get to press a number up, and then hit the point. Coming out, it was like a 7 roll come out. It was like, because I only needed like the 2 or something, and it was like 3, 3, 3, 11, 12, 7, whatever it was, right? Finally get a point, and then I went on the good inside run. It took me about 20 rolls to start getting repeatable numbers to bet on. Not a great roll, not a retirement roll, but it was fun as hell to have 54 rollers. And because the table had softened, that got everybody healthy. I know Alfredo and the guys on the end were playing 10-10-10 ATS, and they made a bunch of money on that. A lot of folks did. It was cool to get the high fives from everybody and make everybody else money. Got a couple of shooter tips in there. It was fun. We went to dinner after that, and it was fun. The food was great. Went to an Asian restaurant there. It was fantastic food, but 3 people got sick. I got the note the next morning that, Corey and Glenn and Alfredo were all up all night long, not feeling good. Note to self, no seafood. No seafood at night. No seafood. Actually, if you don't know me by now, I'm not a seafood eater at all. I don't love me the seafood at all. I think there's more picture here, by the way. There's the picture, I think, of me. Yeah, there's me with my dealer ride along. During that roll, that was me with them, and this is my 44 inside waiting for me to hit 20 rolls later to get a freaking number. So there's that. Anyway, so after Snoqualmie, and everybody got sick, we moved on. We went to my house. So the Saturday morning, the fun shifted to here, and again, I'll give you some pictures of this. Came to my there's me with the ride along. Come to my house. There's the dinner shot. This is Gina, by the way. Gina is one of our local heroes. I'll talk about her in a little bit. She was great. Next behind her is Craig Rogers. There's Corey and his wife Kathy. There's Glenn and me and Ian and Alfredo, of course. That was pre everybody getting sick, by the way. So that all worked out. But then we went over to my house on Saturday morning. It was great. We Kathy made, this is so detailed, but Kathy made a coffee cake, homemade coffee cake, which she does. She loves that. We had breakfast and coffee. We've got donuts. I gave tours of the studio. So everybody who was here got to see the room that I'm in now, got to see my downstairs studio and how small the damn thing is. And then we played in the garage. I don't have better garage pictures, but here's us in the garage. There's Rich in the back and there's Jeremy up front. You can see there's my roulette tables over here on the left-hand side. Yeah, that was the small part of the crew there. And then, of course, here's the big picture of everybody playing around the table. Corey dealt the entire time because Glenn threw like an 80 roller on this table. That was a good pick. That was before I put the simulator down there. It was fun, but that was great. We had a really good time. I think we had a really good time. I had my Tulalip simulator tabletop that we put on top of my actual table. And did we get ready for Tulalip? Not really, because like I said, Glenn hogged the table. Galen rolled like 80 rolls without a 7, so nobody got a chance to really throw on the table, unfortunately. But it was fun anyway. I think we all got a chance to hang out. It was a beautiful sunny day in Seattle. It was great, and the table got a workout. That's for damn sure. And it was cool. So that was great, just to hang out in my house and sort of just hang out and have some fun. It was super cool. And it was like the reason for the weekend was this. Like Ian and I were talking. I'm like, I don't really care if I win. I don't really care if whatever. I just want people to have a good time. I just want to have a good time. So. Did you see you saw the other pictures, right? The other Snoqualmie pictures, right? I think I showed you those. Yeah, Jeremy live streamed it. That was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome. And then we go up to Tulalip, and Tulalip wasn't great. It was an up and down ride. I will tell you this: the chopper toss was made for that table. Like that table, Alfredo will probably tell you in his recaps. That's a very unforgiving table. If you're trying to shoot the dice at all, any kind of a controlled shot, that table is a hard table to throw on. It's a roll to win. It's a full size table. It's a 12-foot table. It's got a roll to win surface on it, so all the lights show up, but it's got felt on top and there's no road bumps. The dice will dig into it. They really don't flip. They hit the back wall and they kind of die, right? So if they don't land perfectly flat, and when they land flat, you can literally make them do what you want to. Like I'm not bullshitting you about dice control. On that table, a flat landed die, it's like on puppet strings. You can do what you want to with it. However, you don't land flat, they hit an edge, they're gonna catch that, they're gonna catch the carpet, and they're gonna just go boom, and they're gonna sit and freaking die wherever they are. The chopper's made for that table because the chopper always lands them flat. The whole point of the chopper is they land flat, right? Boom, ba-doom, and they're good and out. And it worked great. I had great rolls that night. I had I think a 15 and a 16 or whatever it was. I had a 5-roll tall. It was awesome. Gina, our local hero, and Craig Rogers, our another local hero, rolled amazing from the end. They both were great. Justin, you see him front here. He's got the Kraken jersey on. He was a little nervous early on. He's like, I don't really roll that great. And he had a tall or a small. I forget what it was. I think it was a tall. And another local person, I forget who that was now. One of the guys on the end, another great roller, right? He threw like a barrel roll, like Jeremy or Jacob from Colorado. Jacob from Wager Me This throws. It was a weird barrel roll thing. It was great. But that table was a bear. It was sucking money out of our racks. It was either going to be a 10 or it was going to be a PSO. And if you're playing an inside press and pull or a Lagerman or a squeeze play, if you're not getting 2 insides, it might as well be a PSO. We had a few people. Jen was one of them. Jen had an 8-roll PSO. Because, again, if you're on the inside, she sets a point. It was like 11-7, which as Corey points out, if you start with an 11 and then have a 7, that's a PSO on a crapless table. Just FYI, it's a winner for us here. It's a PSO on a crapless table. She does like 11-7, set a point, and then it was like horn, 4, horn, 7. Okay, got 2 4s or whatever it was, and nothing else, right? So we got nothing out of that thing. That's how that table goes sometimes. And it was really, really unforgiving. There was more PSOs and more one-hit wonders than I've ever seen in one like contiguous session like that. It was tough, but we all know how to grind. You want to see me talking? Really? Why you want to see me talking? I'm boring. Let's go. I'll change the view. There I go. You want to see me talking? I guess there's no other pictures from Twitter. But anyway, that was that table was a bitch to get through, and it took a lot of money from us. We all can grind, and I will tell you this. I spent most of the weekend hovering. Like after the big roll that I had, which got me back. By the way, my monster roll, my 55 roller, I was down to my last $78. Like it was like I had bought in for I think 500, whatever it was, and hovering. We had four people in a row that PSO'd, and then one hit wonder. And I was doing 76 inside most of the weekend, and it was like 76, 5 times in a row. Like that whole rack went to nothing. On my 55 roller, I took that 76 or $78 that I had, was basically rail dumped on myself to get my 76 out and the $3 for the dealers. That turned into a night of profit. You'll see. I'll show you how I ground through that thing. We're all good grinders, and we all kind of hovered around and got money out of this thing. That was a rough session. I'm not gonna lie. Alfredo and Corey had a rough time adjusting to the table. It's a hard table to adjust to. Ian and I are used to it. Our locals are used to it. So we were able to throw pretty good on that thing. And to their credit, Corey and Alfredo and some of the others stayed on the right side and let us locals kind of be over here and sort of do our thing. It worked out where we all walked out of there, I think either even or up after Saturday night, but it wasn't a pretty session. It was work. It was a lot of work. Then we went down, and I've got some more pictures to show you, so I apologize for switching screens so much. But then we went out to the Anderson School. I'm going to show you what this place looks like. It's pretty cool. Let me go back over here again and do this screen look here. So here is the Anderson School. This is a local restaurant here. It's actually, if I go back the screen, this is actually an old schoolhouse. So there it is, the Anderson Elementary School. McMenamins buys these old places up and they turn them into restaurants. So it's old school. It's like this outdoor sort of like this, like where the playgrounds used to be. And where the playgrounds used to be, they had like a little whiskey shack, and they have like these bunch of bars and that kind of thing, and kind of these fire pits outside. This is kind of where we were sitting under one of these fire pits. So here's some of the pictures of that. These are kind of dark, but there's a picture of Ian, and I think, who's that over there? Is that Rich? I can't tell. Oh, that's Ian's son. I'm back here at this other table talking to Corey and them and Noah, and I'm standing right behind. This is Jeremy. Behind me is Rich T over here behind my camera shot. Another view from this side, there's Alfredo. There's Alfredo taking a picture, and there's Noah in here, and of course Ian's friend. Jeremy's back over here by where the mouse is hanging out. I think the last picture I got is this one here. There's Alfredo, and there's Noah, of course, and Glenn. Here's by the way, I need to illuminate for you Ian's big fat ass right there. I caught him loading the fire pit with this is Ian. I'm gonna embarrass you. Ian's butt right there. Ian was keeping the fire going all night long. It was great. We had, like I said, fantastic time there at the fire pit. And this was like, we were there for, I don't know how long we were there, guys. We were there for, shit, I don't know. I want to say 3 hours, maybe a little more than 3 hours. Something like that. It was really cool. And we just literally were hanging out and talking the whole time. Wrong screen. Hanging out, talking, grouping off kind of thing. It was cool. It was like, again, my house in the morning for coffee, cake, and craps. McMenamins, that was the highlight of the weekend for me. Besides getting to play with Corey and Alfredo and all the locals and getting everybody together, just sitting around BSing for all that time was great. That was like a big part of it. So we had a great time hanging out by that fire. It was super cool. And then we said, hey, let's go out again, right? All right, so they said, let's go to Snoqualmie. So, it was late. It was like 11 o'clock or something at night. I called my wife and I'm like, hey, Kat, they want to go out again. Do you care? Because she had the dogs all day long. Kathy was home with the dogs all day. No, I don't care. It's fine. Do what you want to do. Ian's tired. He said, I'll take you home. We go to my house. I grab my car and off I go to Snoqualmie. And you have to know this. From my house to Snoqualmie is a good 45-minute drive. from my house to Tulalip is a good 30-minute drive. I'm like in the middle of them. So off I go to Snoqualmie. Ring, here comes the phone call, right, from Jen. And I'm thinking she's going to call me and bitch me out because I'm not there yet. And part of the other thing, too, with that trip to Snoqualmie was going to be Blacklight. Miguel was going to be there. I think he might have been there. And we're all going to meet up and play with him a little bit. And okay, cool, off we go. And I'm down at the exit. I'm down at exit 25. We're exit 27. I was at exit 25, a mile and a half away. I get a phone call from Jen. She goes, "Oh, you're going to kill me." I'm like, "What would you do?" You know, and I thought, again, she was going to yell at me for being late. Turns out she put casino in her phone and it took her to Tulalip. So Corey took a nap in the car. And so Corey and Alfredo and Jen are on the way. They're at Tulalip, which from Snoqualmie is an hour and 15-minute ride. Because again, it's 45 to my house and a half hour up north, right? And I'm like, I'm there. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? So off we go. I turn the car around, I get off the exit, turn the car around, and I go all the way the frick up to Tulalip, right? And I get there like an hour later, and they're all playing. And then the story begins, right? So Jennifer sniped me so bad. This is why the show is called Dammit, Jen, because for the first Dammit, Jen, was she sniped me a little bit at Snoqualmie. But then this night, so she gets me, you know, the hour and a half out of my way. I get all the way up there, and I like to play around with her, right? I'm like, I don't know why. I was betting light side most of the weekend, you know, and I'm like, I'm going dark on your ass, you know, and she gets up and she gets the dice, and I go, don't pass, right? 11. Don't pass again. 7. Okay? Don't pass again. She sets a point of 9. Cool. I lay odds on it, right? So I got a don't pass. I got a bunch of odds on it, and I'm going to go through the con. Little headless horseman, right? To make, I actually horseman her the other night and made money, right? And so yeah, it's don't pass, snipe, don't pass with odds. Into the come I go. 2, 3. She takes 2 come bets from me. All right. Third bet that goes in the come, it goes to the 9. Great. I put odds up on the 9. No, wait. The point was 9. She sets the point of 9. So it's, yeah, the don't pass was 11, 7, takes the 2 don'ts, 3 and 2 in the come. So now she's taking 2 don'ts and a come. The point is 9, and I'm laying on the point. I got the don't pass and odds. I'm in the come. She hits the freaking point and picks my don't with the odds. Comeback goes to the 9. I put odds up on there. Come out roll, 7. Takes the whole freaking thing from me. So I literally, she burned $190 or whatever that was. I was like 180 or what? Boom. 5 rolls later, I'm like, seriously? You made me drive all the way to Snoqualmie and back. I show up at the table, I buy in, and she just sniped me. Just sniped me. And I'm like, man, like that happened fast. Like that was my weekend, by the way. I would get to where like I'm up a little bit, you know what I mean? I'm like up $100, and then boom, hit this like nightmarish roll. And every time I went dark side, I would lose 2 don'ts every time. And it didn't matter if I was trying to like lay something, they'd hit the lay. If I was on the 11, like, you know, don't pass the distant 11, they hit the freaking 7. No matter what happened, right? I couldn't get a don't pass bet out like 4 times I tried. And it's like snipe, like I'm done. And I burned more money on the don't this weekend just trying to get alive. There was a guy next to us who also sniped me. This guy was, that was actually the morning. I'll tell that story in a minute. Another perfect John moment for you, right? But that was Saturday night. That was the night we did good. I threw great that night. Really, really great. That was the night that Gina and Craig were there, and they had their great rolls. That was a really good session. Sorry, so I finished up at Snoqualmie, down I think $100 for the morning session at Tulalip, and then up after that nighttime session. We all did, or at least I did. I was solid that night, and it was great. And then we did a coffee run. We said, hey, let's go up to Lip again and do a coffee run. So cool. Everybody gets up and like meet you up there at 10. And so Ian comes over and he and I go up, and we got there early. Nobody's there. We're like, all right, well, I'm like, let's buy in. We're watching the Seahawks game on the TV. We're playing our thing. We got there early and we crushed it. I think Ian rolled 9 or 10. I rolled 9 or 10. He rolled 9 or 10. We both had like 2-digit rollers back to back to back. It was great. The one guy at the end sucked. The guy was at stick left 1 was terrible. Little short guy. He was awful. He was like shaking and like doing this weird backhand thing. Anyway, He PSO'd 4 times. It was like guy on the end, one hit wonder. This guy PSO, Ian 9 shots, me 9 shots, PSO, Ian, John, PSO. Those guys were horse shit. They were terrible. And it was like and again, 9 rollers, you can't make much money. You're going to go 66 to 88 to 44 on 3 rolls. You got 4 rolls left. You might make 20, 30 bucks. So we're grinding out on ourselves here. And then these guys are taking money, right? That guy was horse crap all day. Everybody shows up. We're at the tables and we're doing our thing. Once everybody showed up, I got the dice again, PSO. And okay, whatever. Comes around. Yeah, Alfredo and Corey go. I don't think they had good shots that time around. The little guy comes again, and I'm like, hey, this guy, 4 straight PSOs. Everybody, and I go, don't pass. What does he fucking do? 7, 7, 7. Okay? And I go, don't pass. Jen said, let's, Jen says, let's dolly this guy if he's that bad. Cool. All right. So again, don't pass, pick. Don't come. Picked on an 11. Said it, don't come. Said it, don't come. We got 6, the 9, and the 4, right? Odds on everything, 4, 6, 9. And the guy just sniped all of us, right? And again, another time, like $200. Like where'd that money go? This guy has been horse crap all day. The one time he goes on a mini heater, he only rolled 7 rolls. He actually rolled the 7 rolls that, again, took every dime we had that fast, so whatever. So the dolly didn't work. Comes back to me, and I had a second P, and I knew I shouldn't do it, but I looked down the end. I had the dice. I looked down the end, and I see it was either 480 inside or 640 across. Whatever. Somebody had a bunch of greens out there. I almost said, like, guys, I'm not like, and you got to know it's been an hour between shots. I PSO'd. An hour later, I get the dice back. I see those giant stacks of green and fucking PSO again. I'm like, you know what? I wasn't feeling it. My hands were sweaty. I'm like, this is shitty. And by the time the dice got me on that second shot, I was down quite a bit. I bought in for I had black chips from the night before that I'd never cashed in. I had those in my rail. I bought $300 cash. I don't like to use chips. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That $300, I had turned it into like 600, 200, 500. I was up and down the whole time with that same $300. By the time it got to me again, I had lost that whole 300 because it was such a shitty group of throws there. I was into a black chip and I'm like, I don't like doing this, But anyway, I'm in the black chip. I PSO'd. I'm like, you know what? What I always tell you guys, I wasn't having fun, even though we were all there. I wasn't having any fun, and I felt like I was black clouding the whole thing. So I stepped away, and I walked. I went and watched a football game for a minute. I played roulette and won $100 in roulette. Just had to kind of just get out of my own head. And I didn't want to be a black cloud at a fun table, right? And because they were all having fun. And you can't just stand there and take a spot up and do $10 come bets all day long. Even if I just did a pass line bet just to kind of hang out, I still felt like I didn't want to be there. So I bugged out. And again, Ian and I got there at 10. This is about 2 in the afternoon. This is 4 hours into this thing. So I came back in again. I played some more and sniped off the last couple of bucks that I had there. Just was not a good day. Yesterday, I lost about 350 or so. So it wasn't a good day for me yesterday, personally. It is what it is. I don't really care that much about that. I will tell you this, the timing is everything. And we'll have a screen to talk about some of the timing stuff. But I think Jen and Corey went back out. So we all went to lunch, by the way. It was 4 o'clock. We were there from 11 a.m. or 10 a.m. me and Ian until 4 o'clock. We had a big dinner at their cafe. It was great. Steak and everything else was awesome. Some people got food pictures of that. We went, and Tina had a 25. I meant to call this out. While I was away at playing roulette, and I came back in the middle of Tina's roll. So I came back in the middle. I heard the yelling from the roulette table. I come back, and Tina is on a 25 roller, making everybody money. It was great. She rolled awesome from the end of the table. Then it got to Alfredo, and Alfredo, boom, bangs out a tall, just like bam, like right there. He was literally he went like I did. I had a 5-roll tall the night before. His tall was about 6 rolls. He literally went bing, 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 knocked it off and he's like, I'm setting the dice for the number I want. He was picking it. It was great. Everybody freaked out. It was freaking awesome, and I walked right back into that table. It was great. Yes, Jeremy played. Jeremy was at the end most of the time, at the end down there by Tina and Jen. They were chummy up most of that first night. And he played with us at Snoqualmie. He played with us here at the Lip. But Jeremy, like me, right? Like he was hanging back a little bit. He was kind of talking to people and sort of, you know, here to play, but here to hang out more than anything else, right? And so Jeremy, I think, always, right? Great host, great player, just he's such a good guy. I mean, when you get to hang out with Jeremy, just hanging out with Jeremy is fun. Like at the fire pit, at the end of the table, just kind of bullshitting with him, and at my house, he's just a dude. He's so much fun. Anyway, yeah, so we go and we have our dinner, and then me and Ian take off. Everybody gets a hug. They all go off, and I think Jen and Corey played again because Corey's flight wasn't until like midnight or something. And I guess Gina rocked a 44 roller that night, and Corey also hit a tall, I think, or one leg of it afterwards. So the evening set, and Jen, what'd you have, a 10 something roller, something like that? So you did well too. I think Jen and Gina and Corey all hit legs of the ATS while we were all done. And that was kind of Corey's send off going back. You can put I know, Corey, that totally hurt. I'm sorry about that. And I know it was terrible. I'm sorry. Anyway, you finished off strong. I think everybody but me finished up either even or up. I was down about 300 and change for the weekend. And again, to me, it wasn't about the money so much. I just wanted to have a good time. You know what I mean? And meet some people. So here's stats and crap for the weekend. Most of us played variations of the Skill 66, the 130, the 76, different variations of that. There was a little bit of 6, 7, 8 that we played that worked sometimes. The don't pass, could not get it through. Even when the table was awful, I couldn't get a don't pass through. A lot of guys did, like, again, I'm looking for 2 inside numbers. What we saw a lot was come out 7, set a point, buckshot the point, come out 7, set a point, 7 out, right? So it's like an 8 roller. One of those is a collectible roll, that one inside. So you're sitting there with one pressed up, you're waiting for that second hit, he never comes. And there's money being made on the pass line sometimes or whatever, but if you're not on the number, it's hard. That happened to us a lot. Nobody played Iron Cross really. Jen is a fan of it and wants to try, making that happen more often. But as a group, we hit, I think this is right. I've got to get the sheets from Corey and from Jen. I think we hit 7 talls as a group. I hit it twice. Alfredo hit it once. Justin hit it once. Ian hit it once. Tina hit it once. Corey, I think, hit it twice. I hit the only small that I know of when I made my all that one night. I don't know if there's any other smalls. I think everybody made the tall, not the small. If I got the numbers wrong, I know that Corey and Jen have all the stats. They'll correct me on those numbers. But I think from my recollection and by thumbing through the books, I think that's what the numbers were. There was a ton of PSOs and one-hit wonders. Ton of them. 40+% didn't get two inside hits. Probably closer to 50% didn't get 2 inside hits. That was pretty brutal. Of course, Michael hit the tall right when we left. We all walked and yeah, you hit it. That happens a lot, right? You get some of that, right? You walk away. Like I walked away from when I was feeling bad, and Tina goes on the 20+ roller. That shit happens, right? You played the Kiss the Sister. Cool. Corey is a good better. Corey and Alfredo are great betters. I'm a grinder, right? You know me, guys. I get even, I get a little bit up, and then I start trying for the hammer a little bit. And you find the hammer, but as I'll tell you later on, at 44 inside, when you end up the 66, and when you end up at 44 inside, there's not much of a hammer left, right? It's really, really hard to make money from that point. And that's why this week is going to be more about that. That play. I think playing that way for an extended period of time is going to get you. It's going to get you, and that's what happens. So overall, I think most folks hovered even, plus or minus $100. I was down about $300, let me a little more than that. But like I said, it wasn't about the money. We got to meet and hang out for long periods of time with our local crew here. We got a new local crew kind of, I think, assembled now more cohesively, which is great. I think Snoqualmie is our new quote-unquote home casino. It's farther away, but they were so good to us down there. I would patronize them. I'll go out of my way to go there. They were so good to us. Really, they were. They were that good. Tulalip was that bad to us. They never wanted us to have a reserve table. They wouldn't do it for us. They didn't accommodate us when we were there. They they were doing all the bullshit casino tactics, like Ian setting the dice and the stick person or the box ladies like doing this and like making the things, and the stick person got in the way one time and hit Ian's hand. They're banging the stick against the glass while they were just not accommodating. I mean, they're good dealers, but they weren't accommodating to us, and they did nothing for us. So to me, I'll go up there because it's convenient sometimes, but I'm not choosing them over Snoqualmie ever again. And that unfortunately, that was the experience up there. It is what it is. But we got to play live with some of the best crappers out there, right? Corey and Alfredo, like I said, they flew in. Jeremy flew in, and we got to hang out and play with Jeremy, who's, again, great. Everybody, Michael and Rich and Noah and Justin, all you guys, Kevin, it was just fun to hang out with all the locals and get to meet folks who are from here that I didn't know were from here, and put faces to names out there in the chat. So it was awesome. Alfredo made an all. When did he make the all? Was I there for that? I don't remember. Maybe or you made a tall and small three. See, that's what I need. I need the notes. Right? I'm going from memory by what you said to me. So that's why those numbers. That's why I said I think, because I wasn't really sure. If Fredo made the all, then I'm sure got that wrong. But yeah, thanks. Yeah. You hit Alfredo up with the dice. It was funny. I didn't bet the ATS all weekend. I literally bet it for myself after Snoqualmie. I said, all right, I'll bet it on myself, and I bet it at the end. The last three, we knew we were going to dinner. I bet it for a couple. I just didn't bet it all weekend. I missed out on all of it. Right? I missed out all the ATSs, and I'm okay with that. Guys played the ATS, hit the ATS, and won again about even. Right? I didn't play it, and I was about even. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You miss it so many times on all the bullshit rolls. When you make it, it's great. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not a fan of the bet. It's slow, but whatever. It's fun when it happens, and it's literally like the excitement level at a table goes up when it gets hit. The high fives are flowing. The hugs are happening. Great. It's great. I love it when that happens. So by all means, play it. And it was cool. And again, I'll get better stats for you. When I get the book from Corey and from Jen, I'll put all the actual stats out there so you know how many times it got hit. I'll run the math on it. I'm going to run the math on the PSOs and the one-hit wonders and sort of, average roll length. I'll get you all the numbers, but I just don't have them yet. I'm still coming down from the high of having everybody here last night. So at the end of the day, there it is, right? We made a lot of friends. We had a bunch of fun. And that was the point of the weekend. The point of the weekend was not to make $1,000. It would have been nice to have made $1,000, but the point was to have a good time and hang out. And it makes me, Corey and I were talking, like we need to hang and talk, right? Me and Alfredo need more time to hang and talk. The local group needs to get together and play more. Like the end result of this weekend was amazing. And I hope that we do it again. And yeah, Dan, it was great. It was a great meetup. We had so much fun on it. I don't remember the all. I remember his tall. I don't remember him making the all down there. I don't remember him getting the small. Doesn't matter. We hit it, right? That was the, again, I remember the screaming. I remember all the yelling. Oh my God. But yeah, let's get the stats put in, and I'll give you all the numbers. But it was a fun weekend. It was super cool to play with everybody. And like I said, you make some new friends, and you deeper bonds form when you have, like, Corey and I talk all the time, but we talk on Craps Chat, and we talk on the Friday Night Fights, but we never talk in person. You know what I mean? So hanging out in person was cool. And like, I don't know, it was just cool. So that's the weekend, guys. That was the meetup. We had a great time. That's my summary. So I'm going to go here and actually look for PCs and make sure that I don't miss anything before I jump in. Actually, before I go take questions, I want to make sure I have one more thing to say to you all. I think it's this. Just make sure you know what's happening the rest of the day. It's 8:55 now. I'm going out for daily paycheck in about 15 minutes. Beat All Bays at 4 o'clock. Jeff's at 5 o'clock with a new D8 table. Big AZ has 2 shows tonight, the Yahtzee at 7 and the Monday Live at 7:30. Craftsmaster Journey Joe again tomorrow at 6. I don't know what Alfredo's schedule is, if he's going to go live at some point. If you're going to do a bonus show where you want to talk, I'll come on and do it. I think it'd be kind of fun if, me and you and Ian and Jen had like a Zoom call, kind of a recap, just kind of lament the weekend kind of thing. tell some of the stories. So many stories come out when you're playing at a table for that long. So many stories come out that you forget, right? And the one thing I'll say here, and I'll leave it. I'll leave it for my final thoughts. Let me go through here, make sure there's no questions coming. By the way, the Molly, Johnny, we're 7-3. I'm going back at it this week. I'm going to go $25 base bets. I'm going to 1-3-2-4 the pass line. I'm going to hammer that damn pass line. We're going to go 2x odds all the time, always on, always working. That's my change for the week. We're going to try and get out of here a little quicker, raise the stakes a little bit, make it more volatile, and we'll see what happens. That's going to be the change for the week. We're going to go a little bit more hammer happy down there. The pass line, I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive on the pass line with the wins. If we get comeout wins, I'm going to do more of a dice doctor or Sam Grafstein thing. We're going to press those things up. We're going to try for a couple of repeat wins down there if we can get them. I'm going to limit my odds exposure, but we're going to have the odds going constantly. That'll be the change for the Molly this week. So hopefully we get some money. It's like 300 plus club, new content tonight, premiering. That's cool. You got to get you onto the things so you're on the schedule there too. So, all right, what questions do we have? Anything else that I need to find here? Questions? Well, give me my glasses. Make sure I don't miss anything. We did not do a baseball game. No. We didn't do the baseball game because it sold out. We had a suite figured out, and then the suite people said, no, it's going to be 120 a person. I'm like, no, we're not doing a 120 a person. And then it was, we can get sporadic seats around the stadium for $40. We never could have sat together, so it would have been no bueno. We just decided not to do it. So the folks that are going to be there, that we're going to go to the game, we'll get them refunds, and that's what's going to happen there. I'm sorry that I missed the all. I don't remember that. I remember the tall part. I don't remember the all part. Maybe I was away from the table when it happened. I don't know. I don't remember it, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it happened. I told Ian to lay 150. I thought that was the tall that he hit. It was the all. That was, you're right. That was when he hit the 9. That's right. The location for Chiro's service. Yes. I will put a note in the Midmo Yo channel on the Discord. I have the announcement. I have the address and the time. So it's in not Lafayette. I don't want to lie. I'll put it in the chat in the Discord. I have the address and the time and everything else. I'll put it there. So, yeah, I was also blaming you for my PSO. I had one PSO the one night, and I'm gonna say it out loud. I'm gonna say the quiet thing out loud, but I don't mean that. I mean this take it with a grain of salt. Okay, I hit again. I thought I threw pretty good this weekend. I really did, and people can verify. Right now, you've had Corey and Alfredo, and everybody's there. They saw me throw. The 7 machine that you see in the garage is not the reality. I actually throw pretty good, but there was the night that I hit the 5-roll tall. Right, I went right down the line, 5-roll tall, and I needed just the 4 for the all. Right, and it literally I hit every number one time. It was like a 9-roller. I hit every number once. Just needed one more for the all that night. On that throw, and I was on it for 555. Flicking down there, landed on, I thought it was Jen's chip. That was the first Dammit Jen. Because I said, right, I gave her some lip. I hit a chip, and it was my fault. The throw was a little short. So I hit a chip that was in the field. I was going for the big 6 and 8 was my target. I hit the field, banged on a chip, and I as soon as I threw it, I knew it wasn't a great throw. Like they didn't spin right. And the one that wasn't spinning smacked that freaking chip 7, and it killed that roll. And I was on a good roll there. Yesterday, one of my PSOs, one of the 2 that I had yesterday, hit a chip again. And I hit it. It was a great throw. I'm like, oh God. And I saw it hit the chip, hits the chip. It goes poof, all the way across the table, turns into a 7. Every time I hit a chip, it's a damn 7. I know it's not real, right? 1 out of every 6 times hits a chip, it's a 7. I know. It just seems like, man, talk about some confirmation bias. And I know, Jen, all those chips were yours. You put the chips in my way, or the guy next to you, you said, move your chips here, he'll never hit it. And he put his chip right where I was going to hit it. So I'm blaming it all on you. You are the reason I lost money this weekend, Jen. I'm just kidding with you. We had a great time. It's just money. I don't even care. You know what I mean? It's just having fun, slighting backboard. We had a great time. Jen and I, we're such good friends, and we had so much fun. What else? What else to say? I think that's it. My final thoughts, guys, are this. I love the game. I love my people. We had such a good time. I keep saying that. Cementing friendships was really cool. Eating dinner with people, breaking bread, very cool. Hanging out at the fire pit, very cool. All that is great. What's not very cool, and the thing I don't like about meetups like this, or the Craps for the Cure, or DiceCon, and I'm not saying don't go, is time, right? There was probably, you're going to think I'm lying to you, but there was probably 10, maybe 15 different times that I was down a little bit and earned, again, buying in for 500, buying in for 700, whatever I bought in for at each different session, at least 10, probably a dozen times. I was down 150, made 200. Down 100, up 150. Down 200, up 100. Like I'm working, right? I made paycheck, what I would call a paycheck, $100 or more on a $500 or less buy-in, at least a dozen times over the weekend. I can grind like nobody's business. But you cannot be at a casino table. You cannot be at a craps table from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. straight through and survive all the chaos at a table and expect to have money at the end, unless you hit a miracle, unless you grab it all somewhere along the way with good money on it, or you catch a 44 roller like Gina had, or a 55 like I had. Unless you catch that roll, you cannot be at a table from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then again from 7 p.m. until midnight. And then again, you can't do it. You can't play 4, 5, 6 hour sessions and grind for that long. That's where Win Craps has you going to zero over time. Win Craps shows you going to zero because you spend too much fucking time there, right? I could have hit it and quit it a dozen times and made a grand doing that. But you're not going to do it. You're going to stay there and play with your friends and have fun and do the thing, and you're going to keep trying it. Before you know it, you're out of money, right? That's what happens. Time, of all the things, time is your enemy. When I'm playing daily paycheck, I say it all the time. These strategies that take 70 rolls to win, I don't like them. I don't like to be 70 rolls in before I make money, because time will get you in this game. Usually it's not the blast 640 across John PSO, take your money, that gets you in this game. It's time. So all week long, all my life, all the future, we're going to be talking on this channel about not how to grind, but about how to hit it quick, how to make sure you're safe quick, and then you can have your fun. But getting out of there quick, walking away, powerful. It's powerful to do that. If you can walk away, it's powerful. If you're at Vegas and you go up $100, cash the hell out. Get off that table, come back for a second session later. But sitting there for 4 or 5 hours, it's a recipe. It's a recipe for a bleed. And I bled it out most of the weekend. So that is that's my final thoughts. Time. Get in, get out, get paid. I say it all the time. And there you go. I think we're done. That's the show. It's 9:05. Give me 10 minutes to make some new coffee, and I'll be out in the garage doing another Molly run. So everybody, I love y'all. Great to have you here. Those of you who are here, thanks for being here to hear the recap. Everybody, we're doing this again. Every year we're going to do this up here. Craps for the Cure is going to be in 2 months, November 11th weekend in Vegas. We're doing the same thing out there. I'm going to make sure in Vegas that we carve out time to hang during Craps for the Cure. Of course, we're going to be there playing at the thing. Of course, we're going to go to the tables and make our money, but we are going to carve out some sit down time, because that was the most beautiful part of this weekend, was sitting down with everybody and just chilling and telling stories. Corey and I had a nice moment. Alfredo and I had a couple of nice moments. I think it's going to be great. I want to do that with us. I want to hang out more and play a little bit less, because that's what we built here, right? And seeing folks in person, and again, and sitting down with everybody. And I so many long talks. Glenn and I had so many long, great talks about music and history, and so much you can learn from people just sitting there and hanging out. You don't always got to be DJs at the table. We can be human friends too. So with that said, God bless, love every one of you. I'll see you in 10 minutes up there for the paycheck. Wish me luck. Godspeed. God bless y'all. See you later. Bye.